To chalk or not to chalk? I'm telling you right now, there is no greater question for week 3. You are watching The Perfect Lineup, where Josh Engleman and myself, Dave Loughran, try to take down a tournament with one of these 3 beauties we're about to build right here in this video. I'll lay the stack out, the bones of the lineup. Josh will take it to the single lineup sims, maybe use a little randomness mixed in there as well, and see what type of lineups we can build and come away with to plug in the tournaments heading into week 3. When I say to chalk or not to chalk, I'm serious too, because there is one team, one game, I should say, that is going to have by far more ownership than anyone else. So I decided, instead of us saying, you know what, let's fade it. No, let's just play it a little bit differently than you're going to see the other lineups throughout the field going into Sunday. And before we get into it, don't forget, you want to get a free month of Sims Max, $200 value? All you got to do, leave a comment down below and let me know who you think will throw the most passing yards. What quarterback this week on the main slate will throw for the most passing yards? Forget about DK points. Who throws for the most passing yards? If you're right, well, a free month of Sims Max NFL may be headed your way. As always, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. All right, first build here. I'm gonna go to the popular game. And the reason I'm gonna do this is because I want it to look different. And also, this is a thought experiment for all of us, right? When we take this to the Sims, I don't know what it's gonna look like. I have an idea if whether or not something will sim out well, but I genuinely have no clue, and neither does Josh. I'm gonna go to a Dallas stack here because while it is popular, I don't think that means we get away from it entirely. And spoiler alert, we may do something with the other side of this game later in the video. The reason I want to do this is because we can still play this stack differently than the field. And what I want to do, I mean, you could clearly go chalky. You could just go Dak with CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. But this is going to be one of the most popular stacks of the week. Believe it or not, I wouldn't be shocked if the Dallas 3-man stack with Ferguson mixed in is pretty popular as well. I want to do it differently. I want to exclude CeeDee Lamb from this one and use George Pickens and Jake Ferguson and see what happens. I know it sounds crazy given the matchup, given Lamb's 28% target share to Pickens 15, but also Pickens has drawn 3 defensive pass interference penalties through the first 2 weeks. He's racked up 79 yards on pass interference calls alone. He hasn't dropped a pass. He has 4 deep attempts, 4 deep targets, would have 6. Actually, I think 7. Because I'm pretty sure all 3 of those pass interference were on were deep attempts. At least 2 of them, I know, against the Philadelphia Eagles. There's always a chance for him to blow up. We're getting him under $6,000 here. He's also running routes on 96% of dropbacks through his first 2 games. I want to try it. I want to go with a double stack on Dallas without CeeDee Lamb. And you know, one thing too is always possible. Like, what if CeeDee Lamb just has an okay game, but you're paying an exorbitant price point for him? What if they pop off, but Pickens and Ferguson have the better game, and we can get to other wide receivers maybe at a cheaper price that allow us to balance our lineup out more, and it gets us where we need to go? So the run back, look, we're got to go. It seems like DJ Moore might be on the outs here. I'm not saying he's not going to be involved or that he isn't still a semi-key piece of the offense, because he is. But that he might not be in Chicago much longer. I'm hearing trade rumors swirling around like crazy. Who knows how much legitimacy there is to him. But I want to go Rome Odunze here. I mean, he's been Caleb Williams' clear preference in the passing game. He commands a 30% target share so far, with 48 or 46% of the Bears' air yards. Look, I get it. Many may refer to him as prayer yards when Caleb Williams is your quarterback, but still, dude's getting a ton of opportunities, and that is simply all we can ask for against a putrid Dallas defense. I mean, what can I say? Yeah, I expect him to be more popular than DJ Moore, and he should be, but if we're fading Lamb, I don't think we have to get too weird, which is why we can also jam Christian McCaffrey here. You're talking about a workhorse back in a home matchup in a divisional spot against the Cardinals. This could be a sneaky high-scoring game, and the Niners are favored by only a field goal. It probably moves to 1.5 if Mac Jones is in and not Brock Purdy.
Lofty just hooked us up with a stellar core, and now we're in the single lineup simulator to find out what the rest of this lineup is going to look like. Dak, Ferguson, Pickens, big Cowboys stack. Rome's coming on the back end. Christian McCaffrey is slotted into one of our running back spots. We have $5,100 for each available position left. Now, before we click complete this lineup, to optimize it and find out how good it looks. One reminder for you guys, perfect25 is the promo code. The link is in the description. Sign up for an NFL DFS package and get 25% off. All right, I'm going to click complete this lineup to find out who are the optimal plays for this spot. We grab the value play in Jordan Mason and we eat the ownership. Jackson Smith-Njigba in. Garrett Wilson in. Jets defense in. That completes the lineup. We have $400 left over, but now we need to evaluate it. So we'll click run lineup simulation to see the details. And boom, Lofty hits us with a stellar lineup out of the gate. 114.6 sim ROI, a 0.4% chance to win, and a 43% cash rate. That is a hell of a start for our first lineup. I am anxious to see what else Lofty's cooking up. Giveaway time. We're trying to pick the winner from the week 2 video. Javonte Williams was the answer you needed to provide. 16 of you did that. And now we are here spinning the wheel to find out who is going to win. If you see your name here, you got to email support@stokastic.com. Take a screenshot of the video where it says your name when it pops up, because if you are Ben Homerig, this is you right now. Take a screenshot of this, email support@stokastic.com, and claim your prize.
All right, lineup number 2. Get ready, because some of you aren't going to love this, and I can understand why, but we have to take shots. You know, last week when I made this video with Josh, I had a Mac Jones triple stack. On any other week, that would have looked pretty damn good, right? We had a couple stacks that we mixed in that ended up performing really well, except it didn't matter because Russell Wilson threw for 450 passing yards against Dallas. And who the heck was playing him? You know, a couple people. And if they did with the Wandale and Malik Neighbors stack, they just won a ton of money. So I'm willing to take chances. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to an ugly quarterback or an ugly stack, but one that has underperformed thus far through 2 weeks. And that is Jalen Hurts plus A.J. Brown. As Baron Rothschild famously stated, the time to buy is when there's blood in the streets. You guys all know that, right? Well, to some, the streets leading to the Philadelphia offense are paved in blood right now. But I'm not convinced that's a problem. You have a new offensive coordinator, limited offensive production in week 2 against a very good Chiefs defense, no less, in Kansas City, and minimal involvement from A.J. Brown so far. I understand it. The Eagles moved the ball really well and super easily against the Cowboys in week 1, though. Let's not forget that. What happened was you had like an hour and a half, this extended weather delay because of lightning and thunder and rain, right? Where they returned, everybody was out of sync on both sides of the offense. That game had like a 60-point total going into that. So, I mean, look, take it for what it's worth. They didn't play any preseason action, these starters. I'm going to buy low in this spot. That's what I'm going to do. I feel like we have to. We got to buy low in one other spot, and this is going to be it. Especially knowing that the Rams are going to hone in on stopping Saquon Barkley after he bludgeoned them for 500 scrimmage yards and 4 touchdowns in 2 meetings last year. Ahkello Witherspoon is out for the Rams. That does not help because he has the size to contend with Brown, where Emmanuel Forbes certainly doesn't. They might be missing Braden Fisk as well, which is not good. But more importantly, this Rams team, right? They have an offense that's good enough to push the Eagles to keep their foot on the gas, right? And if that's the case, I want to go with the Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown skinny with the Puka Nacua run back. That's where we're going. Philly's got a couple dominant corners, but I still expect the Rams to be able to move the ball, especially now that you have Devontae Adams outside. This game has shootout potential. I think it does. This could be a super low-scoring game where we might be looking at 34-31 when all things are said and done and the Philly offense wakes up. We're also going to bring Jordan Mason into this one for obvious reasons. Aaron Jones is on the IR. Carson Wentz is starting against the Bengals. It's hard to envision a game script where Mason isn't heavily involved on the ground, and you know what? Maybe through the air as well. 5,400 simply makes him the best value on the entire slate. And you know what? Plugging chalk into this lineup, I'm not worried about that at all.
Leave it to the homer that is Dave Loughran for going to Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. I don't want to take them too seriously here, but it's not like those guys aren't great. I get it. Hurts, awesome. A.J. Brown, awesome. I don't want to complain too much, but Luff, come on, man. You got to give me the birds. We got Puka on the bring back, and now we're slotting in the value of Jordan Mason. So we have a little bit less salary to go compared to where we were on our first lineup, but we do have more spots to hit as well. This is going to become a little bit more of a pay down. We're also going to use 5% randomness on this, so it's not going to be straight optimal. We're going to get a little bit of a wiggle. Let's see how we fill it out. We get the giveaway winner of Javonte Williams in, Garrett Wilson in again, Juwan Johnson in, DJ Moore in, and oddly enough, we're running back the Jets defense once again. But now it comes down to the evaluation part. Does this one look better? Does it look worse? Is it the same? Let's find out. Little bit of a haircut in the sim ROI data, but still a fantastic lineup. 65% sim ROI, 0.2% chance to win, a 2.2% chance of a top 10 lineup, and a 36% cash rate. We're off to a great start in the package of lineups, but I think we've got one more to check out.
Hey, if you guys are looking to get access to the tools that we use here in this video, that 3 different individuals used to help them take down $1 million each playing NFL DFS last year, use that link in the description and get 25% off any NFL monthly package that you want. That's perfect. 25 is the promo, but with that link, it'll auto load it straight in and you won't have to do a thing. It's 25% off any monthly subscription to NFL that you want. It gets you every single tool that we have for football across this month. All right, for our third and final lineup here. Yes, I'm going to the other side of this Cowboys game for one very specific reason. I want to see what this single lineup sims gives us when we ramp up the randomness. That is important to me, right? Because if you don't, you're going to get super chalky lineups. By the way, I also have another lineup that I'm posting exclusively over on Tails. If you guys haven't created a free account yet, checked out all of our bets and all of the DFS content as well, all of which is for free over there in the free picks page. Link is down there in the description. What I did is I took a lineup and a stack from a game that has the second highest total on the entire slate, and not a single soul is talking about it. So for brevity, to keep this short, and also for you guys to come over and check it on Tails, I'm posting it there. Make sure to come over, create a free account, follow me, follow Josh, and check this build out. Let me know what you think, because I kind of love it and think it has tournament winning upside on a day and a slate where no one's even looking at it. All right, so let's talk about this. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore might be the chalkiest stack on the slate. So I want to run it at 10% randomness, but also instead of DJ Moore, I want to plug in Cole Kmet. I'm going to do it. And it's not for the faint of heart, but you know what? Neither is playing DFS in tournaments for NFL. Here's the good news. Kmet's dirt cheap. He's played 90% of snaps in each of his first 2 games, and he's ran around on almost 80% of Caleb Williams' dropbacks. I can deal with that. Kmet only has 6 targets. I know. But one of them was a 31-yard strike downfield, and he's still a capable red zone threat. You have Matt Eberflus returning to Chicago, okay? He's the new defensive coordinator of the Cowboys. And while he may have some added motivation against the team he coached into the ground last year, I mean, look, this Dallas defense is just flat out bad. There's no 2 ways around it. They are bad. And it appears Deron Bland is going to miss another game, which hurts this Dallas secondary worse than it even was. Obviously, he's been out, but him coming back would have at least been a little bit of a help. Looks like he's going to miss. I'm not going to plug anything else here. I want to see what Josh gets, and I think you guys do as well. So instead, let's go Caleb, Odunze, and Cole Kmet in the single lineup sim, crank the randomness up to 10%, and see what we come up with.
Now, I gotta be honest with you guys. As much as I hated the homer picks of the Eagles on the previous run, the Bears, Rome plus Kmet plus Caleb Williams stack is an interesting spot to be in. But maybe this ends up being a shootout. I like taking this path. We're getting a bunch of ownership to Caleb Williams and to Rome, but Cole Kmet just projected for 1.5% ownership. I think that's an interesting way to make this lineup be a little bit more unique. We got a lot of spots left to fill, $36,000 worth of salary, in fact, and we're going to use 10% randomness to do it. It's set at the bottom of the screen. All we do is click complete lineup to see what we get. This one is fascinating because it makes no distinction for stacks. So we end up getting McCaffrey, much like we did earlier. CeeDee Lamb slots into this lineup. I love the bring back version here. It's the reverse of what we're doing for the first lineup. And oddly enough, we ended up getting DJ Moore added into this lineup as well. So this has become a pretty massive three. Moore, Kmet, and Romadunze. We're getting 3 pass catchers for the Bears along with Caleb Williams, and we have the CeeDee Lamb bring back in. Luckily for us, we finally got away from the Jets D. Let me bring you the Steelers defense. $100 left on the table. Now, will this be the best? Because I find this lineup fascinating, and we have a couple discounted ownership spots that I think could help us here. My guess, we're going to split the difference between the first two. It might not be a split, but it is in between the first two, and I'll take what I can get. 103 sim ROI, much closer to that first lineup. 0.3% chance to win, 2.7% chance of a top 10, and a 44% cash rate. But I'm not done with these lineups. I might be for this video, but there's a link in the description here. You want to go check out Laffy's Tails package. This is totally free, but we have a bonus lineup drawn up for you. All you have to do is browse to that link and go check out Tails. I think you're going to be pretty happy with it. We've given out a couple really solid lineups here. 200 plus sim ROIs. If it's not the first lineup, the second lineup, or the third lineup, it might be the bonus lineup, but one of them is the perfect lineup.